Noreen here with a new episode of What's for Dinner, and welcome to my kitchen. This is post-Irene, and it's a week later. I'm getting ready to upload a video. If I haven't already done it, you probably watched it, and this is just a boring thing for me to say. But anyway, I'm going to make something I haven't had in a really long time. It's called Chilaquiles, and you'll see the spelling of it on the title of the video. But this is a really Mexican peasant food, and what it is fried tortillas that are layered with chicken and cheese and this seasoned tomato sauce. It's not enchilada sauce, it's tomato sauce. Now there are some versions of chilaquiles that have eggs. Some of them like an egg casserole with all those things incorporated into it. And some people like to eat this next to fried eggs. And so today we're just having we're having a chilaquile casserole with chicken in it. And if you're going to have it with eggs or next to eggs, usually it doesn't have that. Usually it's just fried tortillas, sauce, and cheese. But today we're making a dinner casserole out of it, so we're going to use the chicken. So that starts with the chicken. Now here I have a big pot. I have a couple of large ribs of celery, and I just rinsed them off, and I like to leave the leaves in there. Rinse off my knife. And no, I'm not peeling these onions because we just want their flavor. We're not going to be eating these. And I have an ulterior motive here. I'm going to make chicken stock while I'm doing this, and this is going to be a somewhat spicy stock because I'm going to put. I know that looks like a lot of onion. I'm going to put another onion there. We like that. It tastes nice. And once you're done, you can pull the chicken out. You can let the stock cool overnight on top of the stove. And in the morning, you can separate the fat. These tomatoes are for later. This is a separate part. I should have just left these out. But this is, a lot of times you'll see people take corn tortillas and, we'll have a lot of people will fry corn tortillas and use them in the chilaquiles. I decided to go ahead and use tostada shells because they were accessible and they were easy and I didn't have to fry them myself. So, you do what you choose to do. And I'm just going to put these chicken breasts in here. And it already looks like I'm going to need a bigger pot.
You always do.
I always need a stinking bigger pot.
Or a bigger bowl.
A bigger bowl. Ask my husband, he'll tell you. Alright, I'll make a little noise here. Here we go. Get the bigger pot out. I should have done it in the first place.
I need your stock pot. Your canning pot. Well, the canning pot is enormous. I don't know if I need that, but let's see here. Alright. Better I find out now than later, right? Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Let's put all this stuff in here. I'm going to wash this. And then since this is going to be a Mexican-ish, Latin American-ish kind of thing, I thought it might be fun to go ahead and toss in a can of chopped and roasted green chilies. I mean, what the heck, right? Can't hurt. Alright, Rick, that's raw chicken.
Not touching the chicken. Yum.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, let's see. I'm going to fill this up with some water, and then I'll show you.
And this is an 8-quart stock pot. And those are 6 really big chicken breasts that are on the bone and still have their skin on them. I like to make my chicken stock with these chicken breasts. The perk was that they were on sale for 97 cents a pound. I also have a butcher locally, and if you go down there, they will actually fillet their own boneless, skinless chicken breast down there, and they'll sell trays of the scraps that you can make your stock with. And I like to do that, and I didn't think about that, but I want the meat. So someday I'm going to make stock for you guys and show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you what I buy to make that with, because those are super cheap. They sell it for like, I don't know what it's like, 45 or 50 cents a pound. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculously cheap. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to add some chicken bouillon here, just to add some flavor. This eliminates the need for salt.
That's Shirley J.
That is Shirley J bouillon. And I'm going to throw in, I don't know, a couple tablespoons of Mrs. Dash because I like it. And then going to throw in about a tablespoon of poultry seasoning because I like it. And I'm going to throw in a little bit of cumin, about a teaspoon.
Why?
Because I like it. You're such a smarty.
But they can do their own seasoning.
You can do whatever you like. I mean, this is a basic start for any kind of a stock. You want chicken stock, you use this. You want beef stock, use some beef bones. You want ham stock, use an old ham bone. And then you'll have a nice smoky stock to cook some beans in. Just giving this a stir. And I wanted to show you these. Now, Queen's Cabinet did mention these, that she keeps these in her food storage. Put them here. These are by Knorr, and they are mini cubes, and they can be found in the Latin food section of your grocery store. At least that's where I find them here in North Carolina. They have whole rows of in one grocery store here, Food Lion, that has nothing but Latin American foods, and they have really nice selection. And these are like 89 cents for a box of 20. And when they say mini, they mean it, because this is how big they are. They're like half the size of a regular bouillon cube. And this is cilantro, onion, and garlic. But they smell really amazing. And they're concentrated flavors. And this garlic one, wow, is it potent. So I'm going to put that in there. And this is the onion. And I know we have a lot of onions in there, but sometimes adding a bouillon cube just kicks up that flavor, and I really like that because I really like intense flavor. The only other thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get my chopped garlic out of the fridge, and I think I'm going to add a spoonful to it. Excuse me. This is one thing I didn't lose when I was out of power for so long, because I didn't figure this was going to get hurt. But anyway, we're going to give this a stir. And don't worry about all those spices floating on the top, because once this gets simmering, it's all going to incorporate and it's all going to start to float to the bottom anyway. So don't use that spoon anymore because that chicken is raw. I'm going to put this on medium. I'm going to put the lid on it. And I'm going to go get my kids who are at my parents' house. And I'm going to go to Michael's for a little me time. While I'm gone, this is going to cook and simmer, and Rick's going to watch the Notre Dame game on the TV. And I'm going to come back later, probably after I take this chicken off the bone and shred it. So, we'll be back then. Okay, we're back. I boiled these chicken breasts in that broth, and I made a whole bunch of stock. I strained it already. I'm going to bring it over here so you can see it. I put it in a smaller pot. I've strained it. I'm just going to let it sit, and then I'm going to take the fat off of the top of it because I did have the skin on those chicken breasts. Later in the week, I'm going to take half of this shredded chicken and I'm going to make tortilla soup. So what we have here is two 28-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. And we're going to make a little tomato sauce to go in our chilaquiles. Big enough. Told you. Alright, now what I have here, this is our flavor profile. is Latin or Mexican. So we're going to have, there's a teaspoon each. Thyme, onion powder, cracked black pepper, cumin, salt, garlic powder, and cilantro. This is dried cilantro. I get this from the Spice Barn. And I have 2 bay leaves. In the pot it goes. Give it a stir. I'm going to put this on the stove and I'm going to let it simmer until it bubbles, at which point I'm going to take my immersion blender and make it smooth. Then I'm also, I forgot, we're also going to add about a teaspoon or 2, maybe 2 teaspoons of sugar to this, because it will cut the acidity of the tomatoes. Let's see, I'm going to take the lid off this. And this you can do to taste. I do this when I make my Italian spaghetti sauce as well, from scratch. Always add some sugar to it because it cuts the acidity.
And the Irish spaghetti sauce.
And the Irish spaghetti sauce. It helps to balance the flavors. Okay. Onto the stove it goes. Medium-high heat. And let that simmer for about a half an hour, and then we'll blend it smooth. I'll be back when that's ready.
You're on.
I'm on. Okay. I was just zapping my sauce. And bring it over here so I can take it off here, so that I can make it smooth. If you want to use regular tomato sauce and just simmer it with those spices, go right ahead. I think that when you use the crushed tomatoes, you get a fresher tasting product. But that is entirely up to you. Now, we're going to assemble our chilaquiles. And this is really, really simple and delicious. So, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to set up my pan.
Is that what the C's for?
C for chilaquiles. Yeah. Very observant. I'm magic like that. Okay. Let's see. Bring this over here. Now, like I said, I'm using some tostada shells, and really all they are is they're fried tortillas, corn tortillas. And you just break it up. You can stick them down their hole if you want to. I just feel like this is going to be more...
You have an audience.
I have no doubt, because I have some shredded chicken up here, and I'm sure that they want to get their hands on some of that. Let me get a ladle.
You pause.
Huh?
You mean pause.
You're paused?
No. They want to get their paws.
Oh, they want to get their paws on it. Oh, duh. Okay, and I just realized I made a mistake, so let me grab a paper plate real quick. We all will do this at one point or another. I want to put sauce on the bottom. So, just put a layer of sauce on the bottom. And this, you know, this looks, it's not enchiladas. It's not enchilada casserole. We did that. This is a much simpler tomato-based sauce. And yes, I did put tomatoes. I put tomatoes in my enchilada sauce, and that is a personal preference. There are people who disagree with that. And I just want you to cover the bottom, okay? Then I want you to put... So we're kind of making another layered casserole, like a lasagna. But you are going to love this. Used to get this in Arizona, and I'm able to get it at one of the Mexican restaurants here, and it's delicious. And here I have, this is just a Mexican cheese blend. It's like cotija, cheddar, and Monterey Jack. And I'm going to be very generous. I'm going to say in this casserole, there's probably going to be 3 cups. of cheese. And we come back over here and we get some tostada shells. And you can leave them big, doesn't matter. However it works for you. See, that kind of fits in the corner there. And we're going to put some sauce. Now the sauce, this is going to go in the oven and bake. The sauce is going to soften up these tostada shells.
Okay, quit.
And it's going to make them like a noodle, really. Okay, more chicken.
So this could be like a Mexican lasagna.
It can be considered a Mexican lasagna. I mean, I think that it's all up to you what you want to call it. Okay, and I'm going to put sauce right here. More tostada shells.
Bay leaf.
Oh. Bay leaf. You can use regular tortilla chips in here, not Doritos, tortilla chips. And I wanted to break that up. This is going to be our top. And the thing with the top is, just like so. And then we're going to put cheese on top of that. And a little more sauce, because we want all these to get soft a little bit. But the ones on the top, we want them to remain just a little crispy. We're not going to cover this with foil. And you may have a little sauce left over. Don't sweat it. There's a ton of chicken in there, in those 2 layers that we did already. And let's see, I only have a couple of tostada shells left, so I think I'm just going to do a couple more on top. And I have just a little bit of cheese. Now, I'm going to preheat my oven, 350 degrees, and then we're going to put this in there.
Interesting.
Put the rest on there, he says. All right. I have to take all of the garbage out of my oven. Not literally garbage, but you know, my pans and stuff like that. Oh, and biscuits from a week ago. That's bad. All right, now you know my secrets. Okay. Let me get a cookie sheet here.
Cheese is already melting into the sauce.
Oh, that's okay.
No, it looks good. Can you eat it?
Oh, in about 20 minutes it will be. You put this in a hot oven for 20 minutes. And when it's ready, we'll come back and we'll fix you a plate of chilaquiles because I know you're hungry. I'll be right back. Alrighty, this has been in the oven about a half an hour and you can see it's bubbly and the chips on the top are crispy and the cheese is melty. It looks so good. Okay, let me get a spatula so we can cut a slice out of here. And we'll fix you a plate. Let's see how we did. Oh yeah, see, that's good. And it got soft down in the middle there. And see, that first slice is always the hardest. I wonder if I should just use a spoon.
Okay, well,
I think maybe. What is it we always say? This ain't Hollywood, this is real life, right? Look at that. All layered and steamy. Delicious. Oops. And hot. There we go. I'm going to bring it over here. And all I'm going to do is top this with a dollop of daisy. Sour cream. There you have it. Mexican chilaquiles. I hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see ya!